Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now many of y'all on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram account have reached out to me saying, Nikita, what is the minimum experience that I need in order to work as a healthcare professional in the UK? What do you think? Should I apply to the UK as a fresher or should I gain more experience back in my home country, whether it's India, Pakistan or Bangladesh? And today's video is going to be answering all of these questions for you guys. So if you are interested in any of this, do not forget to watch this video all the way to the end. But for those of you who are struggling to find accommodation, whether you're as an international student coming to the UK in 2023 or in 2024, I would advise you to give a shout to these guys. Amber students are here trying to find accommodation for you, not only in the UK but worldwide. So if you are planning to come into the UK as an international student, do give a shout to these guys, and I'll leave the link for them in the description box below. So check that out, guys. But yes, in today's video, we are going to be covering some really important topics. So the 5 topics we're going to be discussing are: what is the minimum requirements you need for your HCPC registration in terms of experience? How much of minimum experience do you need in order to start applying for NHS jobs? What is the benefits of starting to work in the UK as a fresher? What are the benefits of having some experience within your home country? And finally, we're going to be discussing more about agency or bank shifts for healthcare professionals in the UK. So without wasting any more time, let's get right to it. So firstly, coming down to the most important question of what is the minimum number of years of experience you need for your HCPC registration. Now again, for those of you all who are not aware, HCPC registration is for anybody who works as an allied health professional in the UK. They cover over 15 professions and the list for that is in the description box below. So do not forget to check it out if you are confused about whether you should be applying for HCPC registration or no. And coming back to our question, which is, do we need experience to apply for your HCPC registration? So let me be honest over here. You do not need any experience to be working or to get your HCPC registration. All you need is your completed degree certificate with potentially some internship or some experience in the form of placement through your college or through your university. So even for example, me, I completed my bachelor's in India in physiotherapy, and then I completed 6 months of internship with my college. That would have been sufficient for me to apply for my HCPC registration. So coming down to the fact, with your HCPC registration, you do not need a minimum of 1 year or 2 years of experience. You can apply for that as soon as you get your bachelor's degree certificate. So do not wait, guys, especially if you are interested in coming into the UK and are confused about whether HCPC needs experience or no. Now coming down to the second part of the video, where we want to talk a little bit more about do you need to have any experience in order to be applying for NHS jobs? Now again, for those of y'all who are not aware about this, let me tell you that whenever you apply for NHS jobs, you have different band levels within the UK whenever you make a job application. Now these band levels indicate your duties and responsibilities, but they may also have a bit more management level stuff as you progress to the higher bands. So the junior most band from when you get your HCPC registration that you are eligible to apply for is your band 5, and then you can progress to band 6, band 7 and so on. Now for those of you all who are confused about what band it is that you should be looking out for and what band should you be making jobs applications for, please do not forget to check out this video where I've explained all of that in detail. But just to clear this doubt right here for all of you, you do not need to have minimum years of experience again to apply for NHS jobs or generally jobs in the UK as a medical professional. So what that essentially means is that even if you're a fresher, so even if you've just graduated from your university, you can still get your HCPC registration and start making those applications to NHS jobs or to private companies if that's what you want. Now that brings me to the third point of the video, which is what are the benefits for you if you start out working in the UK as a fresher. So firstly, one of the biggest benefits is that you're not wasting any more time. Now let me explain this point a bit further. So in the UK, what essentially happens is when you start at a band level, you will be given increments in your salary based on the number of years you complete. Now again, this is not given increments every year. You will be given increments only at year 2 and year 5. So if you start in the UK, say for example as a fresher, so you've completed your HCPC registration, landed a job in the UK and have started working in the UK, Your salary will only go up after 2 years and then again after 5 years of you being within the NHS. Now, again, a lot of people will say, oh, but Nikita, what if I have some experience back in my home country? So, say for example, I have 1 year of experience in my home country. Does this mean that I have skipped a pay point in the NHS? And the answer is no. So, say for example, candidate A has started working in the NHS in 2023 and is at a band 5 level therapist role, and say for example candidate B is somebody who has over 2 years of experience in India but is also looking for band 5 roles, and say for example candidate A has started out now and by the year 2025 they would have completed 2 years in the UK, whereas candidate B looked out for some more job opportunities in their home country, say India for example, and they continue to stay in India. So now when they come to the UK in 2025, after 2 years, they will still try and get a job as at a band 5 therapist level, and their salary will be the basic salary. So they will not be promoted to this higher level just because they have 2 years of experience in India. They will be starting at the lowest level where candidate A was 2 years ago. I hope that gives you an idea of what I'm trying to explain, but if it doesn't, let me know in the comment section below. Now, this brings me to my second point, which is a lot of people, especially international graduates, when they apply to NHS jobs, they have heard these rumors that say they will not receive jobs in the UK because they have firstly not studied in the UK, or that they are not present in the UK right now, or that their training or experience back in India did not mean anything. Let me clear it out, guys. The people in the UK are actually looking to fill out the job vacancies. There are over 10,000 vacancies in the NHS England at the moment across different professions. And if you are somebody who has your HCPC registration or a relevant registration to practice in the UK as a healthcare professional, now is your time to apply for these jobs. They do not come with a bias. The UK employers are not biased, saying we are not interested in hiring you because you are an international graduate or because you are an international healthcare profession. The problem many times is in the applications that you guys make as international professionals. The reason is because you would have gone through 1,000 different things for your HCPC applications and you would have spent over hours and hours of your time going over it. But when it comes to making job applications in the UK, the process for it is very different. Now, again, if you are confused about it, you don't know what you should be writing in your NHS applications or in your private applications, please do not forget to check out these two playlists, because this has all of the information I can provide you. But if you are looking for further guidance in it, or if you are somebody who has made 20 applications and has still not received a positive response, please do not hesitate to book a one-to-one session with me where we can go through all of the details, check your applications, and I can give you detailed, unique advice for your specific application so that you can make it stand out in front of the employer. And this gets me to point number 3 of you being a fresher. Now, again, a lot of people will come with this mentality saying, Nikita, what if I come to the UK and I start working, but I'm not good enough? What if they get angry with me? What if they revoke my license to practice, or what if they are just not going to help me while I'm there? I should build up these skills in India before I come to the UK. And let me clear it out, guys. Whenever you start working in a new role, you will have to have a period of shadowing. This is a period where you will have your supervisor or senior professionals in your team help you, guide you, and assess you, not only in terms of conducting assessments, but also in terms of providing treatment interventions, in terms of going over your notes, and providing you with a support for you to be integrated well into your new role. They will not expect you to come in on day one and start treating patients, because obviously they understand that you are an internationally trained medical health professional. They will support you when you start working in the UK. So it doesn't matter if you have tens of years of experience. They do understand the fact, the UK employers do understand the fact that you are coming from a completely different background to be integrated into the UK's NHS, which is obviously working as a very different place to what you are used to. So they will support you, guys. So do not be worried about it. When you come into the UK, ask for that period of shadowing, ask for opportunities where you will be able to observe other people, or maybe even follow a few sessions or follow a few treatment techniques under the supervision of your seniors. And trust me, they are really supportive with this. Now, this brings me to the fourth part of the video. What are the benefits for somebody who is an experienced professional? So say, for example, you have 2 years of experience in India, 3 years of experience in Pakistan, or 5 years of experience in Bangladesh or Philippines or anywhere else in the world. What benefit does it provide you as compared to maybe somebody who's applying as a fresher? The only benefit that you have in this particular situation is that you are able to apply for higher band level roles. Now, again, let me break this down right here. There are some companies, there are some hospitals, there are some NHS trusts in the UK which is going to take into account your skills and experience from your home country. So, say for example, if you are somebody who has 2 years of experience in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, they might potentially consider you for a band 6 role, and you, instead of starting as a band 5 as a fresher, might be able to start at a band 6 role. Now, again, let me be very honest. Some people have this mindset, and this is a question which I get asked really often is, Nikita, I have 4 years of experience. Do you think I can bargain with my salary and negotiate it a bit? And the answer is no. So all of the pay points in the NHS and all of the NHS salaries are the same across the entire UK. Now, obviously, Scotland has a slightly different salary structure as compared to NHS England or NHS Wales, but there isn't a lot of difference. And that sort of salary is the same wherever you practice in the UK. So it doesn't mean that if you have an extra skill or if you have an extra year of experience, you're going to be able to negotiate your salaries. That unfortunately is not true, and you need to remember that you are going to be offered the same pay band, the same scale that is being offered to all healthcare professionals in the UK. The only exception to this is if you are in a high cost area. So, say for example, if you are in London, London has something known as a high cost supplementation. Just because obviously to stay and live in London, it takes much more amount of money as compared to somebody who's living in a rural setting or in a village or in a town nearby. And because of this, because the NHS acknowledges that obviously the cost of living in London is much higher than anywhere else, they provide people with an additional part or an additional component to their salary just to allow them to live there. Now, remember, guys, that obviously even though they are receiving a higher salary, and which can be just a few £100 to live in London, the cost, the rent, the travel, the groceries, everything in London is going to be more expensive. So whatever they earn is essentially what they will be spending out. So keep that in mind. And that's the only sort of difference in salary that you will see in the UK. Everywhere else, like I explained before, it doesn't matter what you do, you will be paid according to the pay points and the bands in the UK. So like I said before, it doesn't matter where you are or what you are doing. The only thing is that you need to remember that you will be paid in a similar way across the UK based on the band and the pay points that you are on. Coming down to the last and the fifth part of this video, which is how can you legally earn more money in the UK as a healthcare professional. Now, as a part of the health and care worker visa, you are allowed to work for another employer for about 20 hours a week. But the rule for this is that you should be working in the same profession or in the same occupation as what is mentioned on your BRP or your certificate of sponsorship. So what does that mean? That just means that if I'm working as a physiotherapist in my NHS job right now, I should also be working as a physiotherapist for my second job or my third job. And that should be less than 20 hours every week. Now, this opens a great opportunity for healthcare professionals because what they can do is actually take up bank shifts, or they can take up agency work such as working for NHS professionals or any other agency just to sort of supplement or add to their income through the NHS. Now remember, all of the bank shifts and the agency shifts will pay you much higher than your regular sort of hourly rate within the NHS. So they are a great way to supplement your income, especially if you have a family with you and are looking for additional ways to improve your income over the next few years while you are in the UK. So that's it from today's video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below and I will try to make a follow-up video on it. But that's it. Take care, guys. Bye.